What's up, YouTube? We back on it on the channel. First of all, bro, before I start this whole thing, once again, thank you guys. We have officially hit 500 subscribers, bro. That is absolutely insane. It was my goal when I first started making videos, like almost a year ago. And we officially hit it. I don't know. It's been crazy. I started this month off with like 130, maybe 180. I don't know. Somewhere in between. But now we officially hit 500. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. And we're going to keep going with the reactions. I got more gaming next month. And yeah, we're just going to keep moving forward. So with that being said, let's get into the reaction. Why OG Fortnite fell off. When did you start Fortnite? Like, when did you start playing? I started probably like season 4. Probably like season 4. I started like getting really into it in like season 5 when like Myth and Pokemon started playing, and then like all the, I don't know, it was crazy though. And then I loved it a lot when FaZe Jarvis and all them came around.
Fortnite again.
It was a great time, bro. And everyone thought Myth and Pokemon were dating and stuff. It was a good time, bro. But yeah, why OG Fortnite fell off?
Old school Fortnite. A game that holds many memories for many people. For some, it was camping out in bushes like a Vietnamese soldier. For others, it was making sure they didn't fully break trees.
Now, if you did this, what is wrong with you? Dude, hopping in duos, hiding in the tree, and they break the tree. What are you doing?
And for all of us, yes, me and you, it was turning around the sun.
Yes. Good mention right here. First Gooner skin.
Sunstrider skin for the first time.
It gave me a rock hard cut.
I miss.
Let's be honest.
Those days.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Unfortunately, time did that one really annoying thing it likes to do called moving forward. And soon, it would become 4 years since players experienced the glory of OG Fortnite. With the only thing to soothe their insatiable hunger for this long-gone game being OG locations occasionally returning.
Dude, Tilted would not see the end of it. Tilted would get destroyed by a volcano and then come back, get destroyed, come back, get destroyed again.
PC exclusive servers of old seasons that may or may not host enough malware to make your computer start speaking Russian. And last but not least,
oh my gosh, when they made the OG like map into creative modes.
Buggy creative maps with missing locations. So it would be to everybody's surprise when after 4 long years, in November of 2023,
this was the greatest news ever. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying when I say that. This is like one of the greatest news I've ever seen in my life. Dude, I remember waking up at like 4 in the morning to play this.
Games would announce.
And then it was so crazy because the servers were like all shut down.
That for 1 month, we'd be going home.
It was amazing, bro. You got all your friends, like your old friend groups coming back to play. It was amazing. All of the other like the older streamers came back to play.
Unsurprisingly, the hype was everywhere.
It was amazing.
Millions of players who had tossed Fortnite aside long ago came back to both reminisce on the old memories and to create new ones.
Dude.
This OG season.
Dude, I had like a trio friend group that didn't get on for like years, and they came back for OG Fortnite. It was amazing.
Would consistently keep a player count above 3 million and even reach 11 million for the season's end event. This 1 month OG season seemed to prove to everybody that people didn't just miss OG Fortnite because they missed how life used to be, but because they missed a Fortnite with simpler gameplay and items. So if bringing back OG Fortnite seemed to be so successful back in 2023, then why, just over a year later, has Fortnite's new permanent OG game mode been such a flop? Reaching a consistent...
Because they made it permanent.
Player count.
They made it permanent, and it's like not even the same.
About a whole 100 times smaller than the Fortnite OG season was able to bring in just the year before. So what happened? Did the hype train for OG Fortnite simply fade away? Is this OG game mode not close?
This rock was not in season 5. Nah, for real. They made it like, they just made it permanent. I feel like that's why. And they made it like a thing where it's like, oh, like every month is like a new season. It's like, I don't think anybody cares anymore, like really. And they made like an OG pass where they like remastered all the old skins. I'm like, we're low-key good off that. Like honestly, there was no need. And I don't know. I feel like it doesn't need to be permanent.
enough to the original chapter.
The reason
1
why there was so much hype was because we haven't seen the OG map in so long before that.
Fortnite? Or is OG Fortnite just overhyped by nostalgia in comparison to current Fortnite? To answer,
And it also is overhyped by the nostalgia, because times were just different back then. Like, you were just a little kid during that time.
why this
Or
current
at least I was.
Fortnite OG mode is struggling so much, we need to go back and see what made the OG season back in 2023 so special.
Another day, another victory for the OG, taking down the sweats, the imposters.
Now, I'm gonna need you to hear me out for a second.
Oh, no.
The Fortnite OG season from 2023 was kinda dog shit. From an
I'm not sure. Was this bad? I feel like, I don't know. I don't know, actually. Because I hung out with a lot of my friends, like my older friends from childhood, like on this season. And I guess that's what made it so much better. But it's like, the season itself, I don't know.
objective standpoint. Under all the hype and the great memories that people have of this 1 month return to Fortnite simplicity, the season itself is in reality a very poor recreation of actual OG Fortnite. It suffers from numerous flaws, like the use of the incorrect Chapter 2 gun models, even though they used the right ones for the promotional art, the wrong storm graphics, a lack of fog that
Okay, now we're just kind of picking stuff out. Does this really matter?
originally gave this map much of its atmosphere, the removal and replacement of many iconic buildings, and the overall inaccurate lighting and graphics. There's a ton more
The lighting and graphics I could see, but everything else, I don't feel like that matters.
mistakes I could list, but these are just the most glaring. Now, people were able to ignore these flaws and eat up this OG slop so easily for a few
We
reasons.
all did, bro.
One, people were just hyped to play the OG map again for the first time in 4 years, in a way that didn't use your PC to mine Bitcoin, or was a creative map missing a battle bus. And two, this season was only a 1 month thing. Do
Oh
you
my
think
gosh.
people were gonna waste what might be their only opportunity to play the OG map again
It was the greatest, like,
to
time
complain
ever.
about Trump
The
Tower
greatest
being
month
removed?
ever, dude.
No. They're just gonna be grateful that they can at least drop at Tilted Towers again, and not some shit like Salty Towers.
Yo, wait,
Now-
when did this season come out? It was like during school. I feel like if they dropped it like in the summer, it would be so much more better.
Let me be
It
clear.
would be way better if it was dropped in the summer. I don't get why it was dropped during a school year.
This season wasn't just carried by nostalgia and FOMO. The gameplay, which is the most important thing, was still pretty good. This season served as a nice break from the overclutteredness of current Fortnite, and a return to simplicity. Yeah, bots were still there, but you had enough movement to go around and find actual players to fight. Like I said earlier in the video, this OG season proved that people didn't just miss 2018 Fortnite because they missed that old period of their life.
I know. Times
But
are just
that
way
a
different.
game as great as 2018 Fortnite was what helped create that old period of life. And this OG season, despite its apparent flaws, was fun enough to somewhat recreate that period once again,
I'm like, okay, we're getting a little emotional here.
if only for just a lingering moment. Unfortunately, this season also seemed to prove to Epic that they didn't really need to put that much elbow grease in order to
What
make
the
OG
hell?
Fortnite appealing to the masses.
Got to say, in all honesty,
Oh my gosh, when they had like 90 bots.
it's the biggest
Insane.
piece of dog shit.
Now, let's fast forward a bit. It's November 2024, and everyone is having a good time playing on the Chapter 2 map again, with famous music celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and Midas's Persona.
And Ice Spice.
Just then, suddenly, out of the blue, Epic Games would officially announce on their Twitter that not only would OG Chapter 1 Fortnite be
I remember this. I feel like now it's like I'll hop on it. Like I'll hop on the mode, but it just doesn't feel the same, obviously.
returning, but it would be here to stay as a permanent game mode. Seasons rotating monthly, old weapon models, old loot pool, and double pump returning.
The double pump shotgun can lick the fucking nastiest, most disgusting asshole.
Man, I used to pray for
Oh my gosh,
times
Daquan. I was in like his last stream ever on Twitch.
like this.
I'm not even lying.
Normal battle royale. Why would anybody touch that nasty, collab-ridden game mode when we could all just play Prime Fortnite forever? Come December 6th, then the masses would get their grubby little hands on this
Dude.
permanent OG game mode, with it releasing to a player count of 1.6 million.
Dude.
Wow,
oh my
that's
gosh.
really good actually. Yeah, this didn't last for more than one day. Now, it's not surprising this game mode brought in less players. Epic had already done this stunt before, and there wasn't any FOMO to go with it this time. But still, a fall off of
Minecraft story
this
mode.
proportion? Yeah, there was something deeper behind this. Well, for starters, like the OG season before, this game mode suffered from many mistakes, like the strange lack of bushes, some weapons still having newer Chapter 2 models and icons, the newer Chapter 5 system of healing, the new Chapter 5 HUD, a new purple and gold burst AR rarity and supply drops that
Okay, this
never
I have a
existed,
problem with.
the lack of a purple tack, some weapon stats just being wrong, the use of the newer movement system that causes your character to walk
I
like
remember when the movement got changed. Like, I didn't like it at first.
he has a stick up
Now I'm kind of fine with it, but it's like, you know, I miss the old movement.
his ass. And lastly, the graphics were still off. Some of these flaws have been fixed, but many still remain to this very day. Now, these inaccuracies on their own don't really mean that much, but when added up, especially the big ones, this game mode starts to feel like a creative map. Actually, never mind, because by this time, the fan-made creative maps that were made purely
Dude, that
out of
looks
passion
insane.
looked almost identical to actual OG Fortnite, and easily outclassed this game mode, made officially by Epic Games. Now, while these inaccuracies definitely bring this game mode down, and the game mode would be better without them, they're more like a nice cherry on top of this game mode's biggest flaw. For its very first day, this game mode launched both without bots or
Yeah,
any
with 90
skill-based
bots later
matchmaking.
on.
Well, wait, that's a good thing, right? That's just like actual OG Fortnite, where every enemy you fight is going to be an actual living human being. Well, two things. One, it's easy to forget that one of OG Fortnite's biggest demographics are casual players, who likely haven't played Fortnite in a while because they were turned off by the current state of the game.
This John Pork.
Two,
Yo, I remember when they added an AI Darth Vader. Dude.
Fortnite has a massive...
Bro, people were just asking it the most weird questions. Bro, they would break the AI too. Darth Vader would just have just tweak out in the middle of the match.
skill gap, specifically when playing builds.
Also, when is Freddy Fazbear getting added to the game? Bro, please.
To put it
I also found out that Tung 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 Sahur is coming to Fortnite. Yeah, somebody just kill me already. Like,
in perspective, how crazy
I got that notification in the middle of class. It actually made me want to die.
the skill gap is,
I will be
you can
buying.
have a pretty good retired pro player 1v1 build
Ron?
battle one of the best players in the world 100 times and not win once. Now, what made these really bad circumstances even worse was the lack of a ranked mode on launch, meaning that not only was there no SBMM to filter sweats out of casual lobbies, there was also zero ranked mode for them to go play instead. This combination of terrible factors unsurprisingly led to a not so great launch, with many people's very first impressions of this game mode not being of old memories, but
Dang.
instead getting full boxed by a player with 2020 in their username.
You know what I remember? I remember like when I didn't have a win yet, before I got my first one, whenever I would hop into solos and it would reach like top 10, I would actually be scared as hell. Like, I'd actually like be so scared.
All across social
I
media,
remember
people
that.
would label this game mode as being too sweaty and designed for
I
the
would be scared to hop in solos in general for some reason.
unemployed, begging for SBMM and bots to once again separate employed and unemployed lobbies. Belongs to the OGs, not these sweats. Their wish would come quickly, and bots with SBMM would
What
be
is the
introduced
context
just a
of
day
this?
after launch. But the damage was
Bro.
already done, and many people's impressions of this game mode were already ruined. And as it turns out, adding bots into this game mode would only bring in a new host of problems. Unlike Season OG back in 2023 that started with Chapter 1 Season 5, this OG game mode would start all the way back at this game's infancy. Chapter 1 Season 1. Old Fortnite is, to put it simply, pretty simple, and Chapter 1 Season 1 is about as simple as OG Fortnite's simplicity gets.
Yeah.
At this time, there were only the most basic items in the game. No need to wait to drink your big pot until you find minis, cause there were no minis. There was also nearly zero mobility, which only made exploring this barren map with barely any locations that much more enjoyable. This extreme simplicity of Chapter 1 Season 1 was already a turnoff for many, who were used to the usual dopamine rush of current
Yeah, you
Fortnite.
have Superman versus like Anakin Skywalker within one match.
But what makes this simplicity of old Fortnite so enjoyable to many, like myself, is that these long moments of wandering and looting in silence are filled with tension. You know that at any moment, this silence could be broken as you run into a player, or start to get sniped at from out of nowhere, possibly losing all that time you've just spent looting and running around. There might not be as many gunfights in OG Fortnite in comparison to current Fortnite, but the fights that do happen are more intense, more meaningful. What makes this whole
because both of y'all sucked during that time. Like, the people you would run into, like, they were all so bad.
system work and allows for tension to properly build up
Like,
in
I would have that dashy aim back, like, in, like, season, like, 5. I used to have that dashy aim.
to be meaningful
Bad.
is the fact that everyone you fight is also a real human player that is
Yeah.
also fiending for that victory royale. Now, when you decide to replace some of these real players and add bots into this mix, all of a sudden this whole system falls apart.
Kanye, no.
Instead of having your minutes of wandering interrupted by another player, it's interrupted by a lame gunfight against a bunch of ones
Yo,
and
that
zeros.
thumbnail's crazy.
And unlike how fast-paced current Fortnite is, this version of the game lacks any mobility that would allow you to fly around and find fights quicker. So now you're forced to spend minutes wandering in your solitude, just without any of the tension that existed before. This influx of bots would cause many to turn on this game mode once again. Instead of being too sweaty,
Whoa.
cause many to turn on this game mode once again.
What?
Instead of being too sweaty, now this game mode was too boring. And people didn't want to play this
I didn't want
boring
the
game mode when a
pistachio.
brand new chapter of Fortnite just came out. This would only cause OG Fortnite to bleed more and more players. And when there's less and less people playing a game mode, what does Epic have to do? Add more and more bots. It got so bad, in fact, that during Fortnite OG Season 3, Epic would update the game mode to allow up to 92 bots in some matches.
8 real players is actually insane. Only
That
8.
means there were some matches that had double the amount of locations than the amount of actual living, breathing players. This addition of more and more bots only makes this game mode less and less appealing to players who want to come back and give it another try. This whole problem is like a paradox. Bots seemingly can't be removed from OG Fortnite because the game mode would become too sweaty. But bots can't really stay either, or at least at the amount they're at now, because they only cause the game mode to become boring, which in turn causes people to leave, which means more bots have to be added, which turns people away from coming back less and less. This paradox is the ultimate problem of OG Fortnite. This issue didn't really exist with the OG season in 2023, because 1, oh my god, OG Fortnite's actually back, I don't care about anything, just get me in. 2, it never had a ridiculous amount of bots.
Yeah, they barely had any bots, and almost every match, everyone would be like actual human players.
And
Because there was so much
3,
tension.
it started out with a season which already had plenty of movement. Meaning if you fought a bot, you were never too far away from another fight that might actually be rewarding. Now, before I end it off, there's just one more issue with this game mode I wanted to briefly go over. And that's the storm. I'm sure all of us
the
who have
speed.
played 2018 Fortnite has a core memory of trying to escape the hood life of constantly dropping tilted, So you drop somewhere low-key, like Snobby Shores or Haunted Hills, only to realize the storm circle was located a whole time zone away in Wailing Woods. As frustrating as this sometimes was, it added to the OG experience. The storm was as much of a threat as an enemy player, and this aggressive storm would create situations like waiting right outside of the circle to pick off stragglers, or searching chests deep in storm praying you find a medkit. With the OG game mode, we actually got the return of this amazing storm system. For a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like all great
I'd actually, bro, yeah, I'd be scared of the storm.
things like the original Kinder Surprise eggs or child labor, people started complaining, saying this OG storm was too harsh. So Epic decided to
Dude, they made, like, in the newer season, like, the season they're on right now, they made the circles, like, square and triangle. I'm like, what the hell? Bro,
remove it and replace it
what's the point of that? They made it, like, circle, like a triangle. They made it into, like, everything.
with the Chapter
It's so
6
random.
storm instead, which is far less aggressive and has bigger storm circles. This, of course, removes any of the unique situations the storm used to create, and more importantly, this makes an already slow-paced game mode even slower and even more boring. So, when you add together this game mode's problems, it's really no surprise that its player counts are such a limp noodle. Now, is bringing back OG Fortnite, a game that many have already played once or even twice now, a bit less surprising and less intriguing than a current Fortnite with new and original updates? Of course. I mean, we've seen Tilted return like, what, 20 times now?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It's hard to get the hype boner up anymore. But I wouldn't say that this game mode having to compete with current Fortnite fully explains its failure. In my opinion, this game mode didn't fail because OG
I miss
Fortnite
those guys
is
being in
overhyped
Fortnite. Wait, hold on.
failure. In
I miss these guys being in Fortnite. The little chug splash. Yeah, the sprites. I miss these guys.
my opinion, this game
I
mode
would carry them around every match until I won.
didn't fail because OG Fortnite is overhyped by nostalgia, but because of its flaws, stopping this game mode from successfully recreating an OG Fortnite experience. The future of this game mode is uncertain, but it seems like Epic is trying to move in the right direction. They're correcting this game mode's mistakes, fixing up the storm, and most importantly, they might be removing bots from current Fortnite OG.
Wait, so because they're doing a season at every match, right? When they reach like chapter 1, no, when they reach like chapter 2 or chapter 3, like what's gonna happen?
and making bots
Because we are not. I feel like we're not gonna be playing the OG like chapter 2
exclusive to a Fortnite OG casual
or like OG chapter 3 season whatever.
mode, which, if done right, could bring many players back, but could also risk dividing the already small player base even further. There could definitely be a resurgence in players, especially with later seasons coming around that introduce more movement, and fan favorite seasons like seasons 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, I loved 8. I loved season 8, dude.
Haven't really properly returned since 2018. But only time will tell if any of this is enough to actually revive this game mode, or just give it a short burst of life. But what do you think? Is OG Fortnite just overhyped by nostalgia and just can't compete in comparison to current Fortnite? Let me know down below.
I think it's kind of overhyped by nostalgia, but the OG like the OG Fortnite they have now as a permanent mode, I think it just sucks because it's a permanent mode. You know what I mean? It's permanent, and it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't feel the same anymore. Does it hit the same anymore? I don't know.
That's all for today.
It was so hyped because we haven't seen that, like, the OG map in so long. So when they gave us it, everyone was just going for it.
Thanks for making it this far into the video. Peace.
Alright. But yeah, man. I miss OG Fortnite. Favorite season? I have no idea. The season during quarantine was so fire. Season 5, because obviously I started back then. Season 6, Season 7, 8, 9. Season X low-key sucked. And then there's a couple others from like Chapter 3 or whatever. But I don't know. But yeah, that's it.